Okay with it. Let's start. Today I'm going to discuss about vector subtraction and some geometrical short methods. Geometrical short methods that can be used to evaluate vector questions very easily. Very easy. That means you can do those kind of calculation without any calculation, but using your mind. Okay. Okay, therefore, today's part is actually, very important part. You have to listen to this part very well, Pute. If you have any questions, please let me know at that time. Okay, because this should be understood very well. Therefore, if you have any questions, please clarify that thing before leaving from the class. Okay. There are topic vector subtraction. Vector subtraction. Vector subtraction. Okay. Look at this one, everyone. Please look into the board. Suppose you are given this kind of number. Actually, you are given this kind of number. 10 minus 4. You can write this subtraction as an addition. No? This subtraction can be written as an addition. How to write this one an addition? You can add 10 plus minus 4. 10 plus minus 4. Therefore, 10 minus 4 is equal to 10 plus minus 4. 10 plus minus 4. Therefore, a subtraction can be written as an addition. An addition with a number and the negative number of this number, no? Of this. Therefore, we can apply this thing into algebraic expression also. Algebraic expression also. A minus B is equal A plus B. Therefore, subtraction can be written as an addition. An addition to it. Is that clear? If it is clear, please raise the hand. They want to silent. Okay. Then write under this. Write under this. A subtraction can be written as an addition. Can be written as an addition. Like this one. A subtraction can be written as an addition. Write these two examples. Write these two examples. That means vector subtraction is very easy. Very easy, Puthe. No need to worry about anything. Suppose there is a vector like this, and another vector is B. Suppose you are given That means you have to evaluate A minus B. You have to evaluate A minus B. Now this is vector A. You have to evaluate. You have to evaluate A minus B. A minus B. Put A. Actually, you can you can convert the subtraction into an addition. How to convert the subtraction into an addition? This is the vector A put A. You can add the negative vector with the first vector. No? You can add the negative vector of the second vector with the first vector. You can add the negative vector. The negative vector to be negative vector. You can add the negative vector of the second vector with the first vector. With the first vector. This is subtraction. This is very easy, Bhuti. This is very easy. Therefore, Bhuti, vector A minus vector B can be written as an addition. How to write that one? A plus minus B, Bhuti. A plus minus B. A plus minus B. Therefore, this is the first vector. You can write the first vector as it is, and you can add the negative vector of the second vector. This is very interesting, Pratik. This is very interesting. If it is a negative number, it is just a number, just a number. Now this is negative vector. Now this is negative vector. How to evaluate a negative vector? Negative vector. So if it is A, sorry, if it is B, the minus B, how to evaluate its negative vector, Puti? How to evaluate its negative vector? Then whether A plus minus B, so how to evaluate minus B? Minus B means actually the magnitude is equal, but direction should be in opposite direction. It should be in opposite direction. Therefore, now this is very easy. This is the first vector. You have to add the negative vector of the second vector. That means you have to change the direction. You have to change the direction only. So this is negative b, Putin. This is negative b. Therefore, this one is equal to negative b. Therefore, a minus b vector is equal a plus negative b vector. A plus negative b vector. So how to evaluate negative b vector? Don't do anything. Just reverse the direction. Just reverse the direction. That is very easy. Therefore, a minus b is equal to the a vector minus b vector is equal. So this is the a vector. This is minus b vector. This is the a vector. Then you have to add the minus b vector. Now this is the this is a starting point. This is the end point. This is the starting point of minus b. This is the end point of minus b. That means you have to overlap b and c. End point of the first vector and the starting point of the second vector. This is A, this is minus B, Puti. This is minus B. This is minus B. Therefore, if you add these two vectors, This is your addition. This is your addition vector. Okay. Therefore, this should be A plus minus B. This should be A plus minus B. A plus minus B means A minus B. A minus B. A, B. Therefore, AD vector gives A plus minus B vector. That means A minus B. Is that clear? Is that clear? If you are given to subtract two vectors, you can add the first vector with the negative vector of the second vector. So how to take the negative vector? How to take the negative vector? Just reverse the vector. Just reverse the vector. Just reverse the vector. Then you can add them. So this is A vector, this is minus B vector. How to add them? You have to overlap the endpoint of the first vector and the starting point of the second vector. Once you overlap them, and you have to construct a vector from A to D, it gives the addition. If you got my explanation, please raise the hand. තේරුණා තුස්සන්න මේ vector subtraction කරපු විදිහ හරිම ලේසි. හරි. හරි. Right under that. Therefore, we can apply the similar method. Therefore, we can apply the similar method to subtract two vectors. Right under that. Therefore, subtraction of two vectors, therefore subtraction of two vectors equal to the addition of first vector with the negative vector of the second vector. With the negative vector of the second vector. Write it another paragraph. The negative vector can be determined The negative vector can be determined by reversing the original vector, by reversing the direction of the original vector. The negative vector can be determined by reversing the direction of the original vector. Okay. You can write down this thing, black color one. You can think about it. I finish. Well, I will do one now. Once you finish writing, please do these examples. Once you finish writing, please do these examples. Number one, 10 Newton minus okay, once you finish chatting, please do these 5 examples. Okay, have finished. Have finished with it? Go finish करो बैठ के मतलब. Yeah. If you complete all, please press the hand. हाँ ना करें. Speed करना नहीं करना. Okay, let's see. First one. First one, you have to subtract 10 Newton into this side minus 3 Newton into same side. Same side. Therefore, you can write this one as an addition. You can write this one as an addition. How to write this one? 10 Newton force into this side plus you have to reverse this one. You have to reverse 3 Newton force to this side. Now 10 Newton to this side, 3 Newton to this side. So once you take the addition means the resultant force into the resultant vector, addition means resultant vector. So 10 Newton force into this side, 3 Newton into other side. That means 7 Newton force into this side. If you got my calculation, please write that. They don't have to start. Addition means taking resultant force. When they make resultant, addition calculate. Addition means taking the resultant force. Resultant vector. Addition equal taking resultant vector. The second one. 10 Newton force into this side minus 3 Newton force into other side. Now this is a subtraction. You cannot do subtraction. Therefore, you have to write this one as an addition. Write this one as an addition. So how to write this one as an addition? 10 Newton force into this side. You have to reverse this force. You have to reverse this force. Plus plus 3 Newton force. And another addition with negative vector. Addition with negative vector. Addition with negative vector. How to take the negative vector? Reversing the direction. Reversing the original direction. Now 10 Newton force into this side, 3 Newton force into the same side, Therefore, answer is 30 Newton into that side. අපි දන්නේ පුතේ මොකක් කරන නම්බර්ස් දෙකක් අඩු නම් ඒකේ වැලියු එක අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලානේ. හරිද? ඒ වුණාට වෙක්ටර්ස් දෙකක් අඩු වුණාට පස්සේ ඒකේ වැලියු එක අඩු වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. වැලියුස් වැඩි වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරිද? සමහරවිට වැලියුස් වෙනස් නෙමෙයි තියෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරි. If you got my calculation, please tell that my calculation තේරුණා තුස්සන්න. Very good. Then third one, 15 Newton force into upper direction minus 5 Newton force into downward direction. Subtraction means addition with negative vector. Subtraction means addition with negative vector. Therefore, first vector you can write it as same. Then addition with negative vector of the second vector. Negative vector. You have to reverse the direction. Now there are two vectors into the same direction. And you have to take the resultant. That means 20 Newton, 50 Newton in the upward direction, 5 Newton into the upward direction. That means 20 Newton in the upward direction. 20 Newton. Then, fourth thought. 50 Newton force into the upward direction minus 5 Newton force into the upward direction. 5 Newton force into the upward direction. Again, subtraction means addition with the negative 1. Addition with the negative 1. Therefore, you have to add 50 Newton force with the negative vector of the second one. Okay. Again, 50 Newton force, write it as it is. Then the negative vector of the second one, that means you have to reverse the direction. Reverse the direction. Now, 50 Newton force in the upward direction, 5 Newton force in the downward direction. You have to take the resultant. Addition means taking resultant. Addition means taking resultant. 15 into upward direction, 5 into downward direction. That means the resultant is 10 Newton into upward direction. Then the last one. 4 Newton force into upward direction, 3 Newton force into this direction. Again, subtraction means addition with negative vector to take. Then this is equal 4 Newton force into this side plus the reverse vector of the second. Addition means taking the resultant vector. Taking the resultant vector, that means 4 Newton force into upward direction, 3 Newton force into this direction, horizontal direction. Therefore, this is equal 5 Newton force into this side. 5 Newton force into this side. Therefore, you can take the angle also. This angle, tan theta is equal to opposite side is 4. Opposite side is 4. Adjacent side is 3. Adjacent side is 3. 4, 3. So this is the subtraction. 5 Newton force. And this angle, theta is equal tan inverse 4 over 3. Tan inverse 4 over 3. If you got my calculations, please raise the hand. තේරුණාද sir? පැහැදිලි නැවත sir. හරිම ලේසි මේක. අල්ලගෙන තියෙන්නේ. මේවා ඇප්ලිකේෂන්ස් එනවා පුතේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපිට ඔය වෙක්ටර් වල චේන්ජ් එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ ඩිෆරන්ට් එකක් ගන්නකොට especially in mechanics. ටක් ගාලා දාගන්න. If all your answers are correct, please raise the hand. If all your answers are correct, please raise the hand. Oh, good. Very good. Okay. Then I had a topic. Applying vector parallelogram law. Applying vector parallelogram law to determine applying the vector parallelogram law to determine vector subtraction. Vector subtraction. Okay, now there are two vectors. Um, Suppose now there are two vectors. Now there are two vectors, P and Q acting at this point. Acting at this point with angle theta. So how to take the resultant vector of P and Q? That means P vector plus Q vector, P vector plus Q vector. So we have to complete this parallelogram. Suppose this point is B, this point is C, this point is D. Now we know from AC vector, we can take the resultant vector. From AC vector, we can represent the addition vector. Okay, is that clear? P plus Q, P vector plus Q vector is equal AC vector. Is it clear? Vector paragraph Now you need to determine P minus Q. P minus Q should be equal P plus minus Q. P plus minus Q. P plus minus Q. That means you have to add P vector plus negative q vector. P vector plus negative q vector. How to determine the negative q vector, Bhute? You have to reverse that vector. You have to reverse that vector, Bhute. This is negative q vector. Negative q vector. Make a q vector. Make a p vector. This one is negative p. This one is negative p. Now, how to determine the negative p plus q? Now I can apply vector parallelogram law to this parallelogram. Now I have to draw the corresponding parallelogram. Suppose this one is A, B, C, D, E, and M. Now it is very clear. Now this is minus Q, this is minus P. So with the P and minus Q. Then now this is the parallelogram to take. Therefore, now it is very clear. This should be the resultant vector. This should be the resultant vector of P and minus Q. P and minus Q. Therefore, P plus minus Q vector should be equal to AE. vector. පැහැදිලිද? මේක තේරෙනවද තස්සන්න? පැහැදිලිද? ඒක ඕනේ අපිට පෙන්නන්න පුළුවන් මේක වෙක්ටර් මේ triangle වගේම මේක minus q නේ පුතේ. Therefore this one also equal to minus q. This one also equal to minus q vector. Therefore p plus minus q should be equal AE. You know AB vector plus BE vector. AB vector plus BE vector should be equal AE vector. මේ B to B කැපිලා යනවා. B to B cancel out වෙනවා හරියට AE vector. AB vector means P vector. BE vector means minus Q vector is equal AE vector. Therefore, P plus minus Q vector is equal to AE vector පුතේ. Therefore, P minus Q should be equal to AE vector. Is that clear? If you got that one, please raise the hand. Okay, thank you, Bhute. Now, here අපිට පුතේ මේක බලන්න. Now look at this one. I will do a small construction. I'm going to draw this diagram. I'm going to draw this diagram. DB diagram. DB diagram. If I draw DB diagram, Bhute, now what can you see? Now it is very clear, Bhute. Now it is very clear. Okay? This is AB vector, Bhute. This DC and AB. DC and AB means those are equal and parallel sides, Bhute. Therefore, this vector, if I represent a vector from DC, that should be equal to P. That should be equal to P. if I represent a vector from CB, if I represent a vector from CB, Puthe, it is equal to Q vector. It is equal to Q vector, but it is in opposite direction. Therefore, this vector should be equal to minus Q. Is that clear? If it is clear, please write the answer to son. This vector should be equal to DC. So P, this vector should be equal to minus Q. Is that clear? පැහැදිලි නේද sir? Therefore, look at this one. If I apply vector triangle principle to DCB triangle, applying vector triangle to BDC triangle. Look at this one. Then I can say DC vector plus CB vector. CB vector, DC plus CB. Both are, the end point of the first vector is equal with the starting point of the second vector. That means I can overlap them. Then the remaining one is DB. Therefore, DC vector plus CB vector should be equal DB vector. Therefore, DB vector is equal to K. This one is P vector. CB vector is minus Q vector. This is very, very interesting. That means DB vector should be equal to P minus Q vector. P minus Q. Is that clear? This is very, very interesting. That means if you draw the vector triangle, vector parallelogram, if you draw the vector parallelogram, suppose this one is P vector, this one is Q vector. If you draw the vector parallelogram, put the diagonal passing through the intersection point, the diagonal passing through the intersection point of two vectors gives the resultant form, the resultant vector. This one gives the addition. It gives resultant vector. It gives resultant vector, while the other diagonal gives the difference vector. The difference vector means subtraction, while the other diagonal gives the difference vector. The difference can be can either be P minus Q or Q minus P, but you have to remember the direction. Direction P minus Q P minus P. Here it is very clear. This one is P, this one is minus Q. Therefore, D should be equal P minus Q. And AC diagonal gives the resultant vector P plus Q. DB diagonal gives the difference vector P minus Q. Is that clear? If you got that one, please raise that. Oke, taggalagan. May taggalagan. Okay, have finished. Have finished. If you complete running, please give me a thumb. Look at this one. Now we can take the magnitude. Now we can take the magnitude. How to take the magnitude? Magnitude means the AE length. Magnitude of P minus Q. The magnitude of P minus Q means AE length. AE length. The magnitude of a vector. Remember this one. The magnitude of a vector is equal to the length of that line segment. The length of that line segment. Therefore, magnitude of P minus Q. Magnitude of P minus Q should be equal AE length. AE length put it. Now I'm going to find that one. To find that one, I am going to draw a perpendicular. Draw a perpendicular to this side. Let's say A, B, C, D, E, F. This one is F. So if it is F put A, you know this angle is 180 minus theta. This angle, this one is a Z, no? This one is a Z. Therefore, this angle should be equal to this angle, is a angle, theta. Then I can write expression for FE and FB. It is very clear to take FE. FE means that is the opposite side, that is the opposite side to this angle. Therefore, FE should be equal hypotenuse into sine theta. Hypotenuse into sine theta. Opposite side into FE. Hypotenuse means Q into sine theta. Q into sine theta. Q into sine theta. Hypotenuse into sine theta. Again, it is opposite side over hypotenuse again sine theta. And opposite side again hypotenuse into sine theta. Then FB. FB means that is the adjacent side. That is the adjacent side to Q. Therefore, it should be equal Q cos theta. Q cos theta. Q into hypotenuse into cos theta. Hypotenuse into cos theta. Is that clear? If you got that one, please say that you know to start. Opposite side of hypotenuse. Opposite side of hypotenuse means sine theta. Opposite side of hypotenuse means sine theta. Therefore, opposite side should be equal hypotenuse into sine theta. Adjacent side of hypotenuse is equal to cos theta. Therefore, adjacent side should be equal to hypotenuse into cos theta. You know this one is FEB. FEB means that is a right angle triangle. Using FBE triangle. Using FBE triangle. FBE triangle. FBE triangle එක මම ගත්තොත් මෙන්න මෙහෙම triangle එකක් දී. Okay. This is F, this is E, this is B. This angle is E. Therefore, opposite side is equal FE, adjacent side is equal FB. So then I can write the FE I've done my FE again, Q sin theta. Now I can write AF. AF means AB minus FB. AB minus FB. AB means the full length, that is P, minus FB means Q cos theta. Q cos theta. Now, if you consider about AFE triangle, if you consider about AFE right angle triangle, now it is very clear. It is something like this. AFE. AE. Therefore, AE, the square should be equal AFE square plus FE square. Pythagoras them. A square දෙනවා. මොකද එන්නේ? AF square AF කියලා ගන්න මොකද්ද? P minus Q cos theta square plus FE square කියලා මෙන්න මේක. Q sin theta square. Then I can subtract this thing with the, sorry, expand this thing. P square minus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square cos square theta. Q square cos square theta plus method Q square sin square theta. Q square sin square theta. Now it is very clear. AE means that is difference vector. Difference vector. Difference vector. Therefore, D square is equal to. Therefore, difference vector square is equal P square. Look at this one. If you consider about these two terms, Q squared is a common factor. If you take that out, Q squared is Q squared into cos squared plus sin squared theta. Cos squared theta plus sin squared theta minus 2PQ cos theta. You know what is the value of this one? Cos squared theta plus sin squared theta. Cos squared theta plus sin squared theta is equal to thing. That is equal. You know that thing. This is equal. Therefore, D square, that means the square of difference vector, is equal P squared plus Q squared minus 2PQ cos theta. Minus 2PQ cos theta. ඒක තේරුණාද තුස්ස? පැහැදිලිද තුස්ස? theta means angle between them. මෙන්න මේ කොහේ මේ angle එක මේ angle එක නෙවෙයි. ඒක 180 minus 3 නේ. මේ angle එක. හරි. The random topic, finding the magnitude of difference vector. Finding the magnitude of difference vector. Okay. Try the topic, finding the magnitude of difference vector, and then do this. Another thing. I have finished. Okay. Okay with it. Now take the tute. Where you taken? Now turn into the MCQ paper. MCQ questions. MCQ questions now turn. Mga para ko tute hard copy sa tikat sa mga para kewan lang. Further. Look at this one. There are some printing mistakes. There are some printing mistakes. Now I have sent the soft copy. So please correct those printing mistakes in question number 7. In question number 7, six coplanar vectors AB, BC, CD, CAB, BC, CD, DE, F, EF, EF, and FC. Whether the FC, easy and FC will know FC. This should be corrected. This should be corrected as FC. Then again, question number 17. Question number 17. 9 coplanar forces GB, BD, and the third one should be GD, GD. Third one should be GD. And then I say no. Whether GC GD will know. 17th question. It should be GD. Okay. Now you have a challenge. You have a challenge. Do the first 20 questions. Do the first 20 questions within 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Then 40 minutes. Then 50, 30. Within 20 minutes, do the first, 40 minutes. Within 40 minutes, do the first 20 questions. Tagala first 20 questions කරලා answer sheets එක මට ෆොටෝ එකක් දාන්න අනිවාර්ය හැමෝම first 20 questions කරලා answer sheet එක මට question මේ ෆොටෝ එකක් දාන්න ගිය time එක mark කරගන්න. ඒකත් එක්ක මට මේ ෆොටෝ එකක් දාන්න. ටක් ගාලා කරන්න. Do the first 20 questions. Do the first 20 questions within 40 minutes. Within 40 minutes means less than 40 minutes. Less than 40 minutes. I want to evaluate who is the fastest one. How the මුලින්ම කරන්නේ? How the වේගෙන්ම කරන්නේ කියලා මට බලන්න. ටක් ගාලා කරන්න.